and gentlemen, my name is James, aka Deadly Tracker. Welcome to today's video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about YouTube and Twitter and my predictions. So I recently watched a video by one of my favorite YouTubers, Lost Pause. He was talking about how not safe for work content would soon be banned on Twitter. For those who do not know what not safe for work content is, it's adult content such as lewd pictures or depictions of characters, TV show characters, cartoons, anything like that, or other things. Now you might say that's a broad spectrum, you know. With Twitter's guidelines, basically they say any depictions of intimacy, such as, you know, showing body parts, showing explicit body parts, any sexual acts, and anything like that, would be banned, basically, or is going to be banned. As of this recording, I have no idea when that goes into effect, but it's sometime in 2020 if I remember correctly, when he said. Now, this is not to copy off of his video, because my video is going to be completely different from his. Now, I did see the whole thing about YouTube, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Finding that out about Twitter is kind of scary, because, I mean, I see this as a regulation, kind of, or kind of a forced regulation, because as much as I see it as a problem, it's basically choking on the freedom of expression, basically. Now, the content like that, I have no problem with it being on platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or, sorry, TV's on, Tumblr, per se. Now, I see this as kind of Tumblr 2.0, which, it's new to me, because, well, it's technically not new to me, because I was actually on Tumblr the day that, well, no, actually it was the day after I got back on Tumblr, after the events of the whole fallout, which I think it was November 17th, 2017? You know, it was 2018 of last year that the purge happened. I think it was in November-ish. And it kind of hit like a brick wall. When it went down like that Titanic, a lot of people were angry. A lot of people just stayed on the platform not caring. I was one of the many who stayed on the platform because I did repost not safe for work content. And so it's kind of terrifying now to know that there are not many platforms that there are going to be for people to go back. But this is where my predictions come in. My predictions are that Newgrounds is going to make resurgence because of the whole purge of Twitter. People who are on Twitter who never knew of Newgrounds are going to hear it through their friends. They're going to say, hey, you know, let's go to Newgrounds. Newgrounds is this really popular place to post not safe for work content or post videos of not safe for work content. So put all our stuff on there, and Newgrounds will be okay with it, because now I can tell you what Newgrounds is. Newgrounds was a early 2000s animation website. You can make games with you can make simple animated games. You can make content of cartoons, flash animations. It was where a lot of huge content creators on YouTube started. You had people like the Game Grumps. You had people like I think people like Game Grumps, people like John Tron, people like I don't know if they did. I know it was John Tron, Game Grumps, Nostalgia Critic. Basically, the OG YouTubers, a lot of them started either on Newgrounds or the one place that's in my predictions is MySpace. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh God, no, not MySpace. MySpace is not going to make a resurgence because nobody uses MySpace anymore. Wrong. There are still musicians who use MySpace. Imagine Dragons came from MySpace, actually, and is one of the most popular, groups out there. And now this is not me, sucking of, MySpace and wanting the old days. This is where I see really the whole blueprint going, because think about it. You got Facebook who's banning certain people from saying things, and then those people going off and making certain content for themselves. You had conservatives who are making like websites like Gab, making content on that and speaking on free speech and stuff like that on there. And then you have people who are using Vimeo for certain YouTube videos and stuff like that, which is not that popular. And BitChute not being as popular. Who do you think they're gonna see who do you think video creators are gonna see when videos are gonna be completely banned because, oh, you had a certain thing in your videos, oh, you had this, oh, you had that, oh, you had this? Who do you think they're gonna see? They're going to see a platform that no one's used in years, where they can post their content, where they can post their music, where they can post anything. MySpace. MySpace was a haven for musicians. Musicians could start up on there, make their content, get noticed, get really popular mainstream, and become huge. Jeffree Star started like that. Well, Jeffree Star's kind of music career kind of faltered afterwards, but eventually made a huge YouTube channel. And now Jeffree Star makes makeup, makes content with other YouTubers. You have people like Hollywood Undead who made it big. A lot of musicians who came up and were popular, or hits, came from MySpace. Usher was from MySpace. I think not Katy Perry, but there's Usher, Chris Brown. I forgot the other musicians because I remember my sisters used the hell out of MySpace in the early 2000s when MySpace was really popular. But it may be either in 2022, 21, MySpace will become a popular thing again. Maybe not even then. Maybe popular down the road. Because the way I see it is, YouTube is banning certain ways you can speak, okay? Certain ways you can speak, certain ways you can talk, certain ways like that. If you go to MySpace, their restrictions are not as bad as these other content, sites. Now, a lot of people are gonna fight me on this and say, well, MySpace is technically a dead platform, it's mostly music and stuff like that. MySpace was the Facebook of its time. MySpace was one of the most popular websites of its time. It was one of the first social media sites of its time. Granted, it didn't last, but with Facebook's restrictions, with Twitter's new restrictions coming on, and soon it starts off with art. Then it starts with the way you can speak, the way you can say stuff to certain people. You're eventually going to see a resurgence of two places. For artists, it's gonna be Newgrounds. And then for people like content creators and those who make music, it's going to be MySpace. That's my predictions. I mean, that's how I see the blueprint going, really. Because people are gonna get sick of YouTube and all the restrictions they're gonna place on their videos. So, that's the plan. I mean, that's my predictions. I mean, that's the only way I see this going. That or Vimeo is gonna make a huge research. It's gonna make a huge resurgence in, views. There's gonna be people that are gonna go to Twitch. People are already sick of Twitch already. I mean, with all the guidelines of male to female, equality on there being shit, with, female streamers when they do bad things not getting banned, while male streamers who do the same exact thing getting banned. Female streamers not getting banned for the same shit that if males did, they got banned. And then Mixer's its own thing. I mean, it's like Mixer and Twitch are like Facebook and MySpace. Am I wrong? Mixer is is conceivably smaller than MySpace was conceivably smaller than MySpace. Or Facebook was conveniently bigger than the inconvenient little MySpace. And then Facebook grew bigger, bigger, and bigger, technically then overshadowing MySpace. And MySpace crushed. Lost all that in an instant. Believe me, do your history. Do the history of the internet of how long MySpace survived before Facebook took over. And then we'll see how long Mixer has control before Twitch is snipped out.